On March the 7th, 2009, CBS aired Picture Perfect, an episode of 48 Hours Mystery. In this episode, Detective Esteban Flores clearly stated that the gunshot was first.
We believe that Travis had been shot first, and that shot was in the face.
The basis for the detective's remarks came from a conversation with Dr. Horn just after the autopsy on June the 12th, 2008. Dr. Horn also spoke with Detective Flores just before he testified in a hearing regarding the case in August 2009.
But over the course of your career, I suspect you attempted to endeavor, in becoming a detective, you expected to endeavor to make the most accurate and honest police report you could. Is that fair to say? Okay.
Yes.
It appears you authored your report on August 27th, 2008. Is that correct?
Do you still have an objection?
No, for that.
All right, you may answer.
Yes, August 27th.
Okay. And based on what we read there, it appears that you attended the autopsy of Mr. Alexander on 6/12 of 2008. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And present during the autopsy was Detective Flores, right?
I have, again referring to my autopsy report, Detective Barrientos and Detective Flores were present.
And that's Detective Flores here sitting at the prosecution's table?
Yes.
Okay. And when they're present, that means they are able to watch what you're doing?
Yes.
It appears that you came away from that autopsy with the knowledge, or with the belief, that Mr. Alexander had been shot first. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you base that on your conversation with Dr. Horn, excuse me.
With my observations through the observation window, and also with a small conversation with the doctor.
Okay.
Dr. Horn inexplicably can't remember speaking to the detective.
Isn't it true that at some point you told Detective Flores that you believed the first wound was the shot to the head?
I don't recall ever saying that.
Okay, so what your testimony is, I just want to be clear, is that you never told Detective Flores that the gunshot wound was the first wound.
I don't believe I ever said that, no.
Detective Flores unambiguously states that he spoke with Dr. Horn one day prior to an August 7th, 2009 hearing.
And then do you recall on August 7th of 2009 giving some testimony in court related to this case?
Yes, it's almost a year later.
But you were under oath when you gave this testimony, right?
Yes.
We were asked if you, on that day, you were asked if you had spoken to Dr. Horn about this case. Is that correct?
Objection, improper impeachment.
Overruled, you may answer that question. Yes.
Yes.
And you recall the answer you gave?
I stated I did.
Okay. And when did that conversation take place?
A day prior to this hearing.
Okay. So your conversation with Dr. Horn then would have took place on August 6, 2009?
Yes.
Okay.
Incredibly, Dr. Horn again can't remember.
And do you remember speaking to Detective Flores about close to a year later after the autopsy?
No.
Do you remember speaking to Detective Flores ever again?
No.
Do you think you didn't? Or do you just not remember?
I don't recall, no.
Did you hear him testify to the idea that he didn't talk to you on August 6, 2009?
Objection to states Dr. Horn's statement. He said he doesn't remember.
Do you have any memory of ever speaking to Detective Flores about this particular autopsy after June 12th?
No.
So, then any information that Detective Flores would have gotten from you would have been from June 12th of 2008, is that right?
I have no idea.